morning, beautiful people. It is Thursday, the 1st of May. Welcome to TDA, the day after your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by you guys, the culture. And of course, like we are every blessed day, we are hosted by the very best. Brent, you in the building?
Morning.
How art thou?
Blessed and highly favored.
We thank
Blessed and
God.
highly favored.
We thank God.
Good morning, everybody in our community. Let me just do a roll call. Let's see who is here. Early, 8:15 in the morning. Energy, Christy, DCF Mooks, Bex, Iman B, Antonia Hansen, Davina, Imi Snow Globe, Ghana Greatness, Star Crow, 9 Ether. Good morning, all of y'all. Did you say that you were a morning person?
Me?
Good morning to me. Yeah, did you say you were a morning person?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
As in, it's not hard for me to get up early in the morning, sort of stuff.
All right.
Or it's far easier than... Basically, when it gets late, I'm tired, man. Put it that way.
Serious?
Yeah, but in the morning, it's not really... Yeah. I'd rather wake up early than be, yeah. That's basically the gist of it, man.
How would you like your next 5 years to be, work routine wise, if you had a choice?
I mean, it depends on other elements and stuff like that, innit? But probably start early, done early, sort of thing.
How important is what you feel your mission or purpose is in relation to the needs of your family? At what point do you prioritize what comes first for your family in relation to what you're chasing, what you've been, do you feel as though you've been put on this earth to chase?
That's a tough question. I think it's a constant balance, though, isn't it? I think it's a constant balance. I think your family becomes part of the mission too, innit? Of course, they're distinct in that you might have had an idea of what you're meant to be doing prior to having a family, or it might come after you had a family, whatever. But I think in some way they somewhat become intertwined, innit? Because one can't necessarily just sit on the side. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a constantly evolving sort of thing. So, yeah, man.
Okay, but at what point, let's throw in health here as well, right? If what you're chasing is affecting your health, at what point do you stop what you're chasing and focus on just you?
I mean, I guess if it's really affecting you, you're going to have to pull back a bit so that you can be in top form. Otherwise, your mission won't last long, innit? You know what I'm saying? You need to focus on the health.
When would you look to give up what you're chasing if it's affecting your family?
I guess when it's affecting my family and I feel like it's like irreversible damage.
That means you would have to care more about what is happening at home than what you're chasing.
Yeah.
And you do have that in you?
Yeah.
So if what you're chasing is for the community, you would stop all of that just to focus on your family.
Yeah, you'd have to, yeah.
All right. So in this point, the end doesn't justify the means.
What do you mean?
The will of
because
the
I think it's
people,
because I
the
think
masses, it wouldn't trump the couple of people that you have at home.
Obviously, it's a hypothetical situation, but I understand where you're coming from because at the end of the day,
it's not hypothetical.
It's hypothetical.
No, it's not. I'm about to show you a couple of things just now, right?
Oh, is it? Okay, cool. All right. No, but the reason why I'm saying that is because most people who have who feel like they're here to do a particular work here that involves the community, serving the community in some capacity, don't see an end to that. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I think their families are held in high esteem, at least in their eyes. You know what I'm saying? Because they know their family has to give up so much for them to do that particular work, innit? So the two are intertwined, innit? So in my head, I'm answering the question because of what makes sense to me. But in my head, I don't see the two. I don't see one having to give up for the other.
A lot of your heroes, did
Yeah.
they not give up the family in order to basically...
But they didn't give up the family. This is basically what I'm saying.
They were there, but
Yeah.
they weren't pouring in as they should.
Yeah,
100% they
of
weren't.
course. That's what I'm saying to you.
And that's what I mean by giving up the family. I'm not talking about just completely abandoning them.
Okay, so you just mean if
The
you're
balance
not...
wasn't what you're suggesting. It wasn't even.
So, yeah, of course. Yeah, the balance won't be even. It won't be. Unfortunately, it won't be.
It's so weird using the word balance
Mm.
in the flow of responding to this question because it's not balanced. In
Yeah.
your mind, balanced means...
50-50, no.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be
You
like
could say,
equilibrium.
I tried to balance it,
Yeah.
but it didn't work.
Mm.
But when you say I balance it, it means that you're actually actively maintaining the difference.
Did I
nicely.
say I balance it? I didn't say that.
No.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
not
okay.
saying that you did say that.
Mm.
But you said that you try to balance
Yeah,
it.
you'll try to. But it won't be a 50-50 thing. There's countless things that even now that I miss out on, or where I guess 10 years ago I thought, oh yeah, I'll be definitely do this and I'll definitely do that. I'm not able to do. Do you know what I'm saying?
Can you give me some examples?
Let me just give a small one. Just in terms of the amount of time I spend with my daughter. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not as much as I would like it to be. Small example. Do you get what I'm saying?
So your work,
Yeah.
your work 9 to 5 work,
Mm.
that is what is kind of stopping you from spending more time with your daughter? As in, like work? But that's with everybody, right?
No, but not every man doesn't have TDA. Doesn't
So
have
it's
something else.
TDA you're saying?
I didn't say it's one or the other. I'm just saying it's just a...
You know, for why I need proper information when I'm...
No, I'm saying it for a reason because it's not a case of, oh yeah, is this one or is that one. It's just that they both exist. So whether you say it's this one or is that one doesn't make a difference. They both exist. See
So
what I'm saying?
the time that you spend here is a time that you're losing with your daughter. So if you weren't here, you'd be with your daughter.
Of course.
What time did she go to school?
But then my work would be different. It would be shift. So I would be there.
I just
afterwards.
asked you a very, very simple question.
Yeah, I know, but I answer it from an economics perspective. I don't answer it from, if I was there, then that's like saying to somebody.
All right, let's run through this. What time did she go to school?
We don't need to run through anything.
I don't know. How have you just responded to me?
What do you mean?
How have you?
No, because you know how I am, innit? Like I don't like when it comes to personal stuff. I know there's enemies listening. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very mindful of agents.
I don't
So-
know. But
I'm-
private
but-
school. Is it a different type of?
No, it's just
stuff?
anything. It's just anything. When you do your due diligence and you study history, you understand the little ammunition you give can be used for something.
Look, brother.
That's
bloody
how I
hell.
live.
Let's
I'm
talk
just
about
telling you.
somebody else. Somebody else's child. What time did they normally start? Primary
Probably
school,
like 8:30 or something.
right? And then they're not sat with the child. They have to leave the child with the teachers.
Of course.
All right. So during that time, aren't we doing TDA?
But that's because you see it that way. So let's just say, if you're somebody who has flexibility in your work, you might move things around.
To be honest, I'm not even interested in it. This is not what I'm.
This is what I'm
I
saying.
don't know why I isn't going on this particular path. Anyway, so if your family life is affected,
Yeah.
you would give up TDA.
If I felt it was like irreversible damage, it's very if it's like bad, then yeah, well, of course. I have
And then
to.
that means you would give up TMB. Because it's the same type of principle, yes?
I wouldn't. Not in the same way. Because one is a particular ongoing show, innit? I can do different things. It's kind of like saying, I don't know, working as a like a secretary, like an admin
Working on
secretary.
the railroad.
Working on the railroad, you need to be there at particular hours, innit? But if you're behind the scenes, you may not need to be there at particular hours. You may be far earlier or maybe far later. So it's a bit more flexible, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you shouldn't really be adding more things to your docket relating to TMB because it would mean more is being put on to stress family life.
I mean, this is what happens. But at the same, it's like saying you shouldn't put more weights on the bench press, isn't it? But sometimes, in order to get a particular place, you need to do something.
You're saying that
every now and
using
again.
that parallel, you're saying that the more weight that's put on you in TDA or TMB, it's going to be fruitful. It's going to make you stronger to balance easier with your family life.
It's not necessarily.
I don't know why you use that weight.
It's not necessarily about making me stronger or whatever. It just means that what we're doing can get done, innit? There's work that needs to be done, that's all. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what type of
Brent,
geriatric response that is.
The harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few, man.
Here we go. Another geriatric phrase. Okay. All right.
So there's work to be done, man. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Why I'm asking all this is just this past week, just a few days have transpired, and I'm seeing a couple fantastic businesses just pop down.
Yeah.
Right? Fantastic community initiatives just pop down. I want to know is there something in the water? Is there some sort of spiritual attack? Is there some sort of, let it not be spiritual, right? Because people don't like when it is, they go woo 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 this early in the morning, right? And it's not even Wednesday anymore. It's not even Wednesday, it's a regular Thursday.
It's only us, Brent. So it's always Wednesday.
That can't happen, man. That can't happen.
But yeah,
and I felt a way about it. When I saw the first post, I'll put it up for some context. Unfortunately, because we were gonna have her on in it, but she was on holiday. She was looking forward to come through and she got back. But I saw this post from Temi Wale, and it says, over a decade ago, I started Forefront as a teenager, fueled by grief, hope, and a deep desire for change. It grew from a grassroots campaign for care into a national force for change, challenging criminalization, centering healing, and building community power from the ground up. Today, I am sharing that Forefront project is closing this chapter. We will officially wind down this year. This decision is rooted in love, grief, growth, and deep respect for what we've built. Forefront has always been more than an organization. It's been a community, a family, a movement, a home. My heart is full and broken at the same time. But I couldn't be prouder of what we've built, who we've grown, and the world we've dared to imagine. I've spent almost 13 years of my life pouring my heart, soul, and every fiber of my being into Forefront. It held my coming of age. It's where I grew up, broke down, stood back up, and found my purpose. Every lesson about power, pain, and possibility was learned here. At the heart of it all is Graham Park Estate, my home, my hood, and the soul of this work. Though our blocks may be torn down, the power of our community will never be demolished. This isn't the end, it's an evolution. In the coming months, we'll share reflections, lessons, and a community archive to honor the legacy we've built. I hope it reminds us that we belong to one another and that our responsibility is to keep showing up again and again, to build, to rebuild, to heal, to resist, and to never stop imagining something better. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for believing in this vision and believing in me. For now, read our story and explore the legacy at the link in my bio, Forefront Legacy. And it shifted my innards when I read it, right? And that was a day, maybe a day or two ago, right?
Yeah.
And then I saw this.
I lied in my last video. This has taken me a lot. I need to kind of let you guys know this has been the hardest thing I've had to deal with. My feet have been numb for almost 2 years now. Okay, so this is one of them situations where it's like, where do I start? This is a Black Pound Day update post, and you know, I need to kind of let you guys know what's been going on over the last, since 2023, end of 2023, when we left John Lewis, up until this point now. I basically acquired an autoimmune disease as a direct result of the work that I have been doing with Black Pound Day. All right, darling, you get me. And yeah, it's been as I said in the last post, you know, on the 27th of June, which is our anniversary, 2024, this has been the hardest thing I've had to deal with. So some of the symptoms that I have acquired, basically, it's basically like a work burnout situation. So being burnt out from work and work stress, you know, and it's not something that you realize when you're going through it, especially in a service-based business, where especially something like this is very public, you know, it's very novel, very present, and you feel like everyone is relying on you to make this thing happen, and you end up overworking yourself into a situation like myself. So basically, some of the symptoms, my hearing decreased, I had some skin issues, you know, twitching in my arms, and this may, to some people this may sound trivial, or it may sound, not the hearing part, but the twitching and all of that, but it's basically like a nervous system reaction where your body is signaling to you like you're probably overstimulated, and inflammation is setting in, and your nerves are being overloaded, and the result of that overloading experience is the twitching and all of that. And my feet have been numb for almost 2 years now. So I've got the hearing, I've got the skin issues, and my feet have been numb for almost 2 years straight. By the end of this year, it will be 2 years. Like I said, end of 2023 is when we left John Lewis, December. Do you understand? And I literally almost, not literally, but, you know, figuratively, almost ran out of John Lewis straight onto a plane, went to Jamaica, my homeland, you know, we got the Jamaican them, and had to settle myself and ask myself, what the fuck are you doing? What the hell are you doing? Excuse my language, but this is the extent of the extremity of the experience that I'd gone through, you know what I'm saying? And I literally had to close everything down, you know. I lied in my last video. I meant I lied. Oh, the shops are closed. You know, a lot of people don't know. A lot of people that are asking me, you obviously haven't been Westfield for a while, but the shops are not there no more. And you know, this is part of the reason. You know, there's other overlapping things as well, but you know, this is the pretty much the main thing. And the shops were hosting, you know, all of our employees. You know, I'm not gonna try and roll them off, but we was looking after our employees as black individuals from our community, being employed under a black business. And you know, we provided wages for these people and provided a space where, you know, they could feel comfortable to work, you know, servicing and representing our community in the way that we did. So, you know, all in all, we probably had like over 10 employees basically, you know, and all that is gone now. You know, 1 or 2 of the employees, it's their first time working, or they hadn't had a job for years, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, this allowed, you know, we provided BPD as a company an opportunity for particular individuals to, you know, be a part of something that is fostered by, you know, our own community, and make them feel comfortable to face the public and work for, you know, a black business. Do you get what I'm saying? These are the sort of undertone elements that come with, you know, the power of having a black business. You're able to, you know, provide a platform for individuals in your community to feel comfortable to work, you know, for the first time, or you know, to have a unique experience in their employment, you know, that makes them feel fulfilled as a working member of their community and a working member of their society. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, family, this is basically it. You know, I don't want to make this too long, but just to let you know that, you know, that guy that sat in his car and said, you know, this is Black Pound Day, this is what we're going to do, and all the achievements that we were able to achieve throughout the time when, you know, everything flowered and, you know, went through its initial peak, the first stage of its peak, you know, because the journey continues and there are more peaks to be had. But you know, the guy that presented this idea to you, you know, has been going through a very challenging experience. And speaking of family, you know, I spoke about my grandma, this has affected, you know, my children, the way I engage with my children, the way I engage with my family, my mum, you know, and when I say the way I engage, I want to be very specific in saying that it has completely changed. Let me wind this window up. It has completely changed me, and therefore completely changed the way that me as an individual engages and interacts with my family. You know, this is the extent of the bodily effects that this has had on me. Do you get what I'm saying? So I want to be clear on that. You know, I am a changed person. Maybe not changed forever, I don't know. And there's some things that I haven't mentioned, you know, that I'm going through as a result of the work that I've been doing and acquiring the work stress and burnout. There's certain things that I haven't mentioned. You know, I've just said the ones that I'm willing to share. Do you get what I'm saying? But there's other things that have, you know, changed me going forward. And hopefully I'll be able to find ways to remedy and get back to my normal standard of health. But for now, I'm still dealing with the results of the burnout. Do you get what I'm saying? And to reiterate, decreased hearing, my feet have been numb for 2 years, and you know, other symptoms as well. So this has taken me a lot to have to, you know, share, you know, and to some extent, again, I still felt, you know, being away for so long, that I'm letting down my community. But I just want to thank everyone actually for sticking by us, because you know, things have been kind of quiet, but I want to thank all of our followers, all 40,000+ of you, you know, and those that aren't on social media, those in the WhatsApp groups and whatever, you know, for believing in us, you know, and for engaging with your best foot forward and making a good faith effort to, you know, maintain the idea that I had, you know, of Black Pound Day, which is the first Saturday of every month. You know, we remind all communities to support black businesses, and it has been such a wonderful, life-changing journey for the best of us all. And I don't want to, the word worst is in my head, but I don't want to say it, not for the worst, but for the time being, you know, my body has absorbed the negative side of being an entrepreneur and having to forefront and lead, you know, this sort of community-led and social-led business that, you know, I've had to, you know, do my best to lead, and it has affected, you know, every part of my life. You know what I'm saying? That has been the impact of it. I just want to make that clear. I know I've said that already, but I really just want to make that clear. Like, you know, life has changed for me and my children and my family, and, you know, only they know how much it has changed. But I'm just trying to bring across the energy to you, that so you guys understand that that has been a significant part of what I've had to deal with, and my children have had to deal with, and, you know, anyone that is associated with me that I interact with. You know, things have changed, but I'm a warrior, I'm a fighter, and I also have to be realistic and deal with this situation in the best way that I can in what I've been going through. So yeah, I want to thank everyone. I want to thank my family for helping me through this. I want to thank, you know, my friends for helping me through this, and I want to thank, you know, the community, the Black Pound Day community, for helping me to, you know, feel proud about the work that we've done, you know, just by the fact that you're still here with us. Do you get what I'm saying? And to close off, I want to say that, you know, intuitively, during the time, this was before this all happened, I kind of started a charity. I started a charity because I knew that that was an element that I would need to also, you know, lean on, because, you know, this is such a movement that it would need different elements of practice and different elements of the word's not coming to me, but different modes of engaging, you know, the work would be needed in order for the movement to thrive. So I started a charity called BPD Global, and during this time I will be raising money. You know, the last thing that I will say is that everything that you guys saw that we were able to produce in terms of the business side. I apologize. The business side of Black Pound Day. You know, the presentation and the operation and everything came out of my own money. Yeah. So thousands of pounds were used to start and maintain the business, which came out of my own money. You know, to start and maintain this. You know what I'm saying? And that was because of my commitment and my integrity that I have as a, you know, as a worker for the community. Do you get what I'm saying? To make sure that, you know, the things were done to fulfill the idea, you know. So at this stage now, I'm letting you guys know I do have a charity called BPD Global, which has the same objective, which is to help, you know, marginalized entrepreneurs, which are, you know, entrepreneurs from the Black community, being that we are a host of a wider nation which is predominantly white. Do you get what I'm saying? Which makes us by default marginalized. And so that's what the charity's objective is. It's the same as, you know, the movement and the limited company's objective. And at this stage, you know, I'm asking now, you know, which I didn't want to do before, but I'm asking my community to help me raise money, you know, to an extent that, you know, some of the work can be offloaded onto the charity, and we can continue the great work that we have been doing. You know what I'm saying? So the charity is called BPD Global. The bank details will be on this video at the end, and probably, you know, on your screens, you know, throughout the time that I've been mentioning this part of my presentation. And, you know, I would love you guys to, you know, reciprocate some of the energy that I have put into the business. And I know loads of you came to support the businesses that were in the stores. So, but people do always say, you know, how can we support? How can we support? And, you know, you can not only support transactionally when it comes to Black businesses, you can also donate. Do you get what I'm saying? And, you know, that is the reason why, you know, the charity is also there for people that want to support without having to leave their chairs. They can go on their phone and just, you know, send whatever donation you want to send. You know, I will be continuously starting to put the charity at the forefront of, you know, the work that's being done, and continue to, you know, raise money to help offload some of the physical work that had to be done to maintain the limited company's objectives. Do you get what I'm saying? It's got me where I am now, and so I have to be smart and start to do things a bit differently. Yeah, so thank you for your time. If you got to the end of the video, I want to thank you. Please share this video so people will know and understand, you know, the stage that we're at in terms of the movement, and myself as the person and CEO that was and that is running you know, the continuous ideas that help to keep this thing moving. I just want to thank you all, and yeah, I will be updating you and letting you know more around my situation, and I feel like, you know, I can move on now, and I've addressed you guys, and I just want to say thank you, man. This has been it is the toughest experience I've ever been through in my life. And yeah, that's all I have to say, family. You know, sorry if it sounded like I was rambling a little bit, but, you know, it's taken a lot for me to even just jump on and say this, you know. And for those, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much. Oh, the shop's up.
Sad, isn't it?
It is. And I couldn't help but relate to so much of what it is he was saying. It was so, it felt, everything he was saying was so at home to me. Like, it was so familiar to me. And when I watched it, I kind of felt myself kind of welling up just on the pain points that he was touching on, right? And I said, the least I can do with this small platform of ours is just to share the video, right? But this is what's informed these questions I'm asking of you, right? You can't fault him for stepping back. You can't fault her for stepping back, because once it takes its toll.
Yeah.
You can't walk yourself into the grave.
You can't, man. So many of our people have. And these are young people, man. You know what I'm saying?
Both of them are young.
That's what I'm saying to you. That's it, man.
Yeah. So anyway, these questions I pose to myself, the shaking, the twitching. Oh my gosh. I relate to that. I relate to that. Not the numbness of the feet. I do a lot of walking and that. You get me?
Still got that.
Yeah, I still got the sensations and that in my feet and that. But that's the reason as to why I am so thankful for Stephen, Danielle, you, the TDA team, because if y'all weren't around, pitching in, doing your part, I don't know, I might have had no sensation in my feet. Well, you think I would have?
You're a different person, isn't it? So,
That is mad. But the importance of making sure that when it is that you're building out your infrastructure, your workforce, that you're not the single point of failure. That is so important, because what we're doing is far more important than just us. That's this single unit, this single body.
Yep.
There needs to be able to be a succession plan if you pop down, because the enemy's out there, whether they be physical, flipping spiritual. They're out to get us. Hear what I said this now? They're out to get us. That song's a bit like, woohoo.
No, it's true though.
It is true.
Of course it's true.
But today's Thursday, it's not Wednesday.
Brent, every day you have to put on the armor of God, man. I'm telling you.
Every day. Every day. And I know that song jovial. That's the way I deal with, pain and bad news and whatnot. I make jokes, to get through. But boy, oh boy, if y'all think, you enemies, I'm talking to you, spiritual or physical, because I know we have ups on stream.
True indeed.
Sometimes they like just to pretend as though they're not up.
That's why I don't say certain things.
And sometimes they just press down thumb. They don't want to hide. They want to say, I'm here, but you can't see me. I'm not going anywhere.
At all.
Not going anywhere.
No chance. No chance.
I have given up far too much to now give up now. To stop
Impossible.
now. Are you mental?
Impossible.
But I need as many well-abled, proficient individuals around me. This is why is it so important for this to feel like the community can actually come through and pitch in. Do you understand? So when there is a call out that we need help, people are there. All right, cool. We're on our way. We're on our way. And for as easy as it is for us to basically make y'all to facilitate that particular opportunity to help, the better. Let us make it as easy as possible for there to be avenues for them to basically help. And that's what it is we're doing. That's what it is we're doing. Very soon. But I needed to share those two videos.
Yeah.
I need to start this Thursday morning like this. Yes, a couple have they passed the baton, on the baton. They've run their part of the race. Do you understand? And it will continue.
Oh, most definitely.
It will continue.
Most definitely, man. Most
Love those two
definitely.
people, man. Love them.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, we got a couple updates. Ahmed has responded.
Yes. Big up,
Giving us an update with their wrestling talk. I'm not sure if I put it in the...
Yeah, you did.
All right, cool.
So Ahmed said, clarification.
Clarification.
Yes. F the WWE, right? It's a trash company. He says he watches AEW. And to me, on the actual topic, my girl can't look at me any differently watching wrestling or football. I don't care. Furthermore, 10 days into marriage, she must pass an examination that I set her, showing her undoubted love and loyalty. Same with football, basketball team, or she ain't the one, right?
She ain't the one.
That's it. And he said, I've been to wrestling events. Conventions are a little too much for me. I think you man have a weird perception. I didn't dress up for these events. I went as myself and I saw them dotted around enjoying life.
Amen. Amen, and I mean.
There you go, man.
Yeah, man. We are weird. Oh, perspective is weird on this stuff. For the fact that is you introduced me to AEW, I didn't know there were more. Now I know. I did some Googles.
Yeah,
they're apparently they're on the come up. They're doing things better, right? Providing a little bit more entertainment when it comes to the storylines and whatnot.
Okay.
But hey,
Big up AEW, man.
hey, whatever makes you happy, I'm happy. So I take back the comments that I said. I keep the question though. If a woman hears that you spent possible future mortgage on a ticket to AEW, is it an ick for her? The question was for the women, you understand? But as you said, if she don't love it, she don't love you. You understand? And we spend a lot of our human experience looking for that one that sees us whole. Why did you just laugh? Why did you just laugh?
No reason.
Wait. Why did you say you're a whole married man? Why did you just laugh?
What's that got to do
You
with
should
it?
agree. Amen.
Yeah, amen.
What?
You lot are all crazy, man. Let me
You
tell something.
you full romantic man. I thought you were.
I'm a romantic. 100%. Hey, I'm a lover. I'm not a fighter, man.
Amen and
Unless it's
amen.
against you know who, the enemy, then I'll destroy you limb from limb. Everything's separated. All right. Ben.
Thank you very much, Davina. She says there's no time and no date on the screen. Thank you. Community coming out.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Me accountable.
That's it.
Yep.
But it's because of the timeless episode. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's why
Yep.
it's one of them ones.
Yep.
But yes,
Okay, that's the admin.
it is.
Let's get into the headlines.
Let's do it. All right, people. So we've got a few headlines. Like I did just say, I'm going to break them in two parts. Microsoft has vowed to protect its European operations against interference from Donald Trump as technology is increasingly used as a bargaining chip in trade negotiations. Brad Smith, who's Microsoft's president, said that the company was prepared to go to court to fight efforts by any government anywhere in the world in the event that access to its internet infrastructure is blocked in Europe. Microsoft pointed out that it had sued Barack Obama's administration 4 times to protect the privacy of its European users, and the White House in 2018, this was under Trump, over the rights of immigrant employees. In a blog post, Mr. Smith announced a series of commitments to safeguard Europe and pledged that the company would act as a voice of reason as the bloc grapples with the trade war with the United States. Next headline, and big trigger warning on this one, people, big trigger warning. The Met Police firearms officer that was cleared of murdering Chris Cabba. This is insane. Sorry, guys. I'm doing this in real time. Okay, so this article from the Standard. Let me read it unedited. The Met Police firearms officer cleared of murdering gangster Chris Cabba. Can you imagine? This is what these people do. Huh. You see? Huh. This is why you have to listen to TDA so you don't hear the white man's evil in the news. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, the Met Police officer, the animal, hear the real version. The animal that was cleared of murdering Chris Cabba will face a gross misconduct hearing and could be sacked following a review by the forces watchdog described as frankly nonsensical. Sergeant Martin Blake, who was 41, shot dead Chris Cabba in Streatham after he drove at officers in an attempt to get out of... Hey, the way I'm editing this article for you people, in an attempt to get out of a roadblock in September 2022. He opened fire to protect his colleagues, but he was charged with the 24-year-old's murder following an independent office for police conduct investigation and went on trial at the Old Bailey in October last year. However, jurors took just 3 hours to find him not guilty. Scotland Yard immediately reinstated him. IOPC Director Amanda Rowe said, "We understand the impact this decision will have on Chris Cabba's family and Sergeant Blake and acknowledge the significant public interest in this case, particularly amongst our black community's firearms officers and the wider policing community. This is a decision that we have taken based on examining all the evidence, views of all parties, and by applying the thresholds set out in legislation and guidance which govern our work. The legal test for deciding whether there is a case to answer is low. Is there sufficient evidence upon which, on the balance of probabilities, a disciplinary panel could make a finding of misconduct? This has been met and therefore we need to follow the legal process. We appreciate that the Home Office is carrying out a review of the legal test for the use of force in misconduct cases. However, we must apply the law as it currently stands. If the hearing finds that he committed gross misconduct, he could face the sack. Next headline, the US Treasury has announced that it has signed a minerals deal with Ukraine and has agreed to establish an America-Ukraine Reconstruction Investment Fund. For Ukraine, this deal was seen as a key to ensuring its access to future US military aid in its war against Russia. President Trump has previously called for Kiev to compensate Washington for billions of dollars in assistance to help repel the Kremlin's forces. A senior Ukrainian official said on Wednesday that under the agreement, the US will contribute to the fund and may also provide new assistance such as air defense systems for Ukraine. Next headline, and the US risks being thrown into recession by Donald Trump's trade war as official figures show the economy shrank during the first 3 months of the year. America's first contraction in 3 years was caused by a tidal wave of imports as businesses rushed to bring goods to the country's shores before the president's tariffs came into effect. Stock markets tumbled on the steeper than expected drop as the scale of the slump sent investors into a fresh flight from US assets, whilst economists warned the drop in output shows the rising risk of a full-blown recession in America. Trigger warning on this one, people. Big trigger warning. A body found in the River Thames is that of 11-year-old Kalia Koa, who went missing in East London last month. This is what the Met Police have confirmed. In a statement issued through the force, her family said that Kalia had been attending a birthday party but never returned home. Her body was recovered at Maritime Quay on the Isle of Dogs, East London, on the 13th of April. Kalia was reported missing on the 31st of March after playing near Barge House Causeway in Woolwich during a school inset day. In their statement, Kalia's family said, "Our hearts are broken and our lives will never be the same. We were blessed to have Kalia. Even if it was for such a short time, she'll be missed so much." And this next headline, this might, should maybe use this, I was thinking of using this as a topic of the day, but this is about the former England striker, Eni Aluko, you know, the black woman, legendary. Long story short, she's pulled out of a presenting role at this week's Women's Football Awards following her criticism of Ian Wright. The 38-year-old criticised Wright last week, saying that he should be aware that there were only a finite amount of opportunities for female pundits working in women's football. The former Chelsea striker Luko has since apologised for her comments, but Ian Wright said he cannot accept the apology and was very disappointed by what was said. The Arsenal icon, former England forward, has been a long-term advocate of the women's game, working regularly as a pundit with a focus on Lionesses matches, and also received widespread support following the criticism.
You been following that?
A bit.
What are your views on that?
That's what I was thinking, make it a topic of the day. Maybe tomorrow, man. We should do it.
All right.
And yeah, man, that's it for the headlines for now, people. Let's get into the topic of the day.
All right.
All right, people. Sorry about that. Just had to sort out some.
You think that's
This
a
guy.
degradation of the product?
Say again. I think what?
It's a degradation of the product.
No, not at all.
Oh, it's an elevation?
I think so.
Oh, you think it's a good idea? Interesting.
All right, people. So let's get to the topic of the day. Yeah, this guy is a terrorist. I mean, you guys know him already, innit? Anyway, so this topic of the day is a part 2 of yesterday's, yeah. So I'm going to give some context for those who missed yesterday's show. So I'm going to read the initial dilemma, then also read his update. So he has messaged in to let us know and fill in the gaps. about some of our questions that we had yesterday. So guys, get ready to jump in the Discord so we can discuss this and give our good brother some advice. So the question was, what's today's mathematics? Sorry, the dilemma was, what's today's mathematics? By the way, it's knowledge. Big up you. I wrote this originally as a follow-up dilemma, but maybe some of the questions or points could be discussed as a topic of the day, as the original dilemma was so long ago. It was about considering moving to a heavily Asian area. Anyway, I'm a 29-year-old black man, still living with my mum. She's a single parent, and for as long as I can remember, it's just been the two of us against the world. I'm deeply grateful for everything she's done for me, but I'm at a crossroads. I know I need to move out, build my own life, and start thinking about my future. Yet I feel a huge amount of guilt leaving her alone. Am I selfish for wanting space? Is it okay to put my own needs first, even when I know my absence will deeply affect her? Sometimes I wonder if we're doomed by the decisions of our parents, whether their sacrifices, struggles, and poor choices end up shaping our lives in ways we can't escape. My mum relied on me emotionally and practically for so long, and I don't know how to untangle that without feeling like I'm abandoning her. As a black man, there's an added layer to this. Family ties in our community often run deep, and there's a cultural expectation to stay close. Arguably, the expectation to take care of our parents seems stronger than an expectation for parents to set a solid foundation for their kids. Moving out feels like I'm breaking some unspoken rule, like I'm choosing independence over loyalty. But at the same time, I can't help but think that staying with her has kept me from fully stepping into adulthood. It's hard to build a relationship, to even meet someone seriously when I'm still living at home. The dating pool feels smaller because, whether it's fair or not, a lot of good women may see still living with parents as a red flag. If I had my own space, would it make it more likely to find a partner, to eventually start my own life, my own family? And if that's true, then is staying out of guilt actually making my future harder? I'd appreciate to hear your thoughts. How do you balance love and loyalty to a parent with the need to live your own life? Is it possible to move forward without carrying the weight of obligation? And on a wider point, is the significant number of single mums a reason for black people becoming more likely to be unmarried in older age? All right, so that's the initial dilemma, people. But like I said, our good brother has written in and given us an update. So here's context. Yeah, here's the context. So he says, appreciate the 3 minutes of my dilemma yesterday. In all seriousness, my submission was a bit of a dilemma, wider topic to discuss. So happy the conversation expanded as it did. As requested, here's some additional context. And based on yesterday's initial discussion, I know this may sound untrue, but it is. And I guess a red flag for some people in the community, as it seemed the assumption was staying at home would mainly be mainly financially driven, right? Cool. So here's the information he's given us. I currently earn £85,000 a year. So for Stacey, for some of the American listeners, that's 113,900 USD. Yeah. Take home pay each month is about 4,300. Cool. He's also saved just over £120,000. Americans, that's 160K. Yeah. And this is specifically towards buying a place, and the rest being a safety net. That is purely savings from my employment since he graduated in 2018. 120K, safety net, plus money for a home. Cool. I live in London and have been with just my mum since I was 7. No contact with my dad since 18. Yeah? So that's 11 years. Dad's been out of the picture, but it's just been him and his mum for 22 years. Yeah, he said it's his choice and no more context needed in terms of the dad, obviously. He says he pays £500 a month, American, 670 USD for rent, but that doesn't include contributions to utilities, food, or other ad hoc household costs, paid as and basically when needed and stuff like that, right? So that's not added to the rent figure. So that would be added on top if and when needed. He says, my mum is in and out of work, which makes joint finances touch and go, hence the motivation for significant savings. I follow the current wrestling stuff, WWE, AEW, TNA, etc. Casually out of nostalgia, general interest, but will never be interested enough to justify going to WrestleMania. All the other cartoon king stuff is not my portion. In Jesus' name. Apologies if these submissions drag on, but for context on my previous one, It was about me going to East London for a viewing and discovering the amount of Asian people in the area and asking how important it is to live amongst skin folk. Gina mentioned a lot of people that aren't from East London experience the same shop for the first time. Since I'll be watching after work, I'll be able to watch live. Sorry, I won't be able to watch live and will provide more context in real time. I won't be able to watch live, and also you can't provide real context in real time. But hopefully all the information is given us fills in all the gaps. If there's any issues with formatting, readability of the US figures, all the rest is not important. Cool. So that's the information, Brent. That's the information TDA community.
It sounds like he's in a good financial place to have already been a
to be out of there.
To already been a TNB investor.
True indeed.
He probably is. So he hasn't put his name in it.
That is true.
So I'm gonna just believe that he is already. Good song, man. Oh, give it his mouth 500 a month. Yeah, right then. You see what our equity holders are doing?
True indeed.
You know, these are valuable members of the community, man. Valuable members of society. Should he move to Forest Gate?
Yeah, man. Yeah, why not?
I'm here.
You know what I'm saying? Don't tell people where you're at, but yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Where am I? Forest Gate to Ilford. It's a big place.
Very big
a big place. Yeah. But anyway, he gave enough context.
Yeah,
right
100%. 100%.
That gave Stacey and now Jackie, she's here. Looking to turn over a table or two.
Is that Jackie or Stacey?
Good morning, Jackie. Have you fixed your phone?
Oh, I don't know. Is it better?
We will see. Good morning, Stacey. Maybe not.
You're on mute, Stacey.
All right. How are you, Jackie?
Yeah. Good. Can you repeat how much he makes or the financial numbers that he gave?
Yeah, so he earns 85k a year.
Yeah.
And he saved up 120k.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. If that's true, I think Stacey's point yesterday, or your point yesterday, as in, why haven't you moved out? Because some people, I think a lot of girls, it's not that you're living with your mum, it's that you need to live with your mum. So sometimes your mum can live with you. If you bought a house, she can stay in the room and you can rent out hers, for example, whether she's rented, whether she's bought it or not. But it depends on the relationship you have with your parents. But if you really want your mum around, you can, like my mum stays with me some of the time because she stays with me. I can still say I live with my mum, but I can kick her out tomorrow. If that makes sense. Not that she needs to stay here. But I think that's the narrative. Because if money wasn't an issue, why don't you just buy anyway? You can still buy for investment purposes. If that's really the question.
Yeah, but
I don't think
that's a separate thing though. You know what I mean? Like he wants to buy to live in, you know what I mean? He doesn't want it to be necessarily an investment vehicle. He wants to live in that place.
I question
Huh? You question it?
I question his 100k, not to be a hater, but
Too late.
You could have invested it and bought a house and then said, I don't live in that, I still live with my mum.
But his 100k makes sense if you think of the dilemma holistically, which is why I'm coming in with a modified perspective today. He should still move. That's not where I'm coming from. I think I don't think I heard the dilemma as a whole yesterday. I kind of just came in midway through the conversation. But I think he makes a very good point about people who not just move late, but people who move in general, and about feeling a little bit of guilt. For example, I live 3,000 miles away from my parents. My parents moved to Georgia while I was in college. I moved back to LA after I went to college. And it's something that comes to mind, but my parents quickly snapped me out of it. Just being guilty, of not being in, I don't want to say reasonable distance, but reasonable distance, because my in-person interactions with my parents is very limited. And naturally, as a human, as a child, you think about, okay, as your parents are getting older, so for some people, I'm one of those people, sometimes calls from them get scary because it's I don't know when I'm going to get that call, and I'm not physically there the way my siblings are physically there to spend quote unquote quality time with them.
Yeah.
It has to be organized and planned in advance. So naturally there's a bit of guilt
when either you've left and you're far and it's like, damn, am I being selfish, wanting to focus my time now on building my life so far away? Or in his case, am I selfish? Which I think is the focus. I think the focus he's made extremely clear. It's not financial here. It's, is he wrong in feeling a little bit selfish in wanting to move on and start his life on his own without necessarily being his mom's. And I don't want to make limit him to financial provision, but like support system in the house. She said he's been a single mother since he was 7 years old, and it's been him and her against the world. I don't even think this is a mommy issue thing. I think it's just like,
A
how do
gratitude and
I
debt.
yeah, like in a
Yeah,
positive way. And I think
yeah,
that's a very valid concern. And I don't think he's selfish. I think his his age that he's leaving may amplify his concern for it because it's been so long and he's not leaving at the natural time people tend to leave, at least in America. I don't know how it is out there, but I don't think his concern's invalid. I think his concern is not only valid, but it's very respectable. But I think truly like having that conversation with his mom would be a pivoting moment in their relationship. Like it has been him and her against the world, and like making that clear verbally and seeing how that take how that pivots the trajectory of the relationship, saying, listen mom, like I'm moving, I don't love you any less, it's nothing about you, I'm ready to start my life, build for myself. How can we I still want to be here to support you. How can we make this a healthy transition? Because if I were in his shoes, I think my concern would be less of me abandoning my mom, because I don't even know how I could live with my mom till 29. We would fight. But like, how do I do it without you feeling abandoned and lonely? I read something the other day where it was like, solitude is great when you choose it. And as the mom, that's not a solitude she chose.
Nope.
precisely. And she's sacrificed for him. Clearly,
Right.
she's been a good mom. Because if he wasn't, she would have left her a long time ago. So this
Right.
is
So
from
like
the lens of who is a good single mom.
right. So then now that there's a part of her that also
Okay.
should be proud that he's financially stable, he's in a great position financially, clearly he's in the right headspace, but like, talk about it, like how can he make that transition easy and supportive for her. I think that's very commendable, and good job to the inquirer.
Also, I think this generation, because we're new, we don't understand there's a sandwich generation. The sandwich generation is people that are fortunate enough to have the older generation they have to look after, and then also have their own new generation. So you have kids and you've also got parents. We haven't prepared for that. We've only prepared for our new nuclear family, but it comes as part of the package to look after your parents to some capacity. So it could be that you might create care packages for them. Every week you send them food or something. Maybe they should have put money aside as well. But the same energy in which you look after your kids, you should sometimes plan that. Okay, what's going to happen to mum when she's X age? If she hasn't planned for herself, if she has, you can manage her finances for her. But the conversation of if she hasn't and she's been a good parent, and some things are hard. We have to understand that they were first generation. Majority of the people we're talking about were first generation immigrants. They had it hard. They didn't have a blueprint. They came from a system where other people supported them, uncles, aunties,
We don't know this
grandparents
about
supported
this. We
them.
don't know about.
No, I'm just saying, no,
Yeah.
but we're generalizing because we're going to generalize here. But in terms of how much they gave up as a single parent as well, so that indebtedness is not bad to feel. It's not bad to say, I'm going to factor in my parents with my finances. If they're being bad parents, do what you want. But when they're good parents, there is some form of like payback you should give. Same way you would want your kids if things didn't turn out the way it should have, or if you poured way too much into them than yourself, you'd want them to kind of look after you as well. But I think in this case, he should maybe move his mum in if he feels the guilt. But Stacey also, England's not that big, so he's probably going from one borough to the next, and it might be an hour and a half away or whatever, assuming. But it's not as bad as 3,000 miles where you have to take a plane and book a flight and stuff. However, it could be that you could come and see on a weekend. You can come and stay there on Fridays or something. And it doesn't have to be you stay here, I stay there. Either you kind of hybrid stay there. You find cleaners for her. You find a cook for her. There's so many ways in which your absence doesn't have to be felt, and then your presence in terms of I'm coming just to chill with you. Let's go shopping together. Let's go movies together or something where it's like she doesn't miss you. On Tuesdays is your day with her. if you really want to move, unless you two like the condition, but if you don't, put things in place. Same way people that co-parent, they then say, okay, Tuesdays are my day, Thursdays are my day, whatever. We'll go on holidays together, etc.
What, go on holidays with his mum?
Why can't you go on holiday with your parents? And then when they die, you're like, I wish I had more time to spend with her.
I never said
I
that.
wish I could have done more. I miss my mom.
This is the problem.
For the sake of
hear one thing and then gone. Listen, I'm
for
not
the sake of
go on,
what
Stacey.
he's, I think for the sake of what he's trying to say, I think it would be healthy to discuss, like, or I think it would be more beneficial to discuss healthy ways that he can not separate himself, but like, I like all the ideas that you did bring up, but I think it still coddles the I'm there perspective more than the she needs to be able to function without his consistent presence, because that's still arrested, not development, but like an arrested guilt. Like if I'm not there or I'm not doing something to make up for my absence, I'm guilty. And to be clear, I don't want people to think that because I was reading some of the comments as you were speaking. I don't want people to think that I'm not painting this picture that he is emotionally dependent or whatever the case may be. I honestly think that if I'm digesting all the things, and Iman correct me, that has been read correctly, his guilt is justified. If y'all are still living at home with your parents, like maybe this is not something that, and this is no shade, but like maybe this isn't something that crosses your mind often. But as someone who hasn't lived with my mom for almost 10 years, like at this point 3,000 miles away consistently for going on 8 years, like it is a frequent thought, like damn, am I shitty if something happens to my parents tomorrow, that for the past 8 years I've chosen to pour into or prioritize my career and live 3,000 miles away instead of spending those last moments. And I hate to say last, but a lot of our parents have more years behind them than they have in front of them, like wanting to be around them and have those moments as a family, have those moments with our parents. Like, and I don't think it's helpful for that type of mindset, if that's the way he's in, to say, oh, let maybe be there every Tuesday, every Friday. What if he can't make it on a Tuesday or Friday? Now he's running himself stressed because, I have a work outing, or maybe I met a woman and we have plans on Tuesday, but Tuesday's a day with my mom. And let's not even give him the tools to put himself in a rabbit hole mind like that. Like, what are some healthy things that he can incorporate in his relational routine with his mom that makes him able to take that step of leaving the house without feeling like he constantly has to have something making her feel like he is there, because that is okay. My idea would be maybe put some money towards, if it's maybe not vacation with you and your mom, but maybe your mom has a best friend, send them on a cruise or something. Like, give her the tools and the resources to be able to learn how to enjoy life as an individual again, not just as your mom, because she's been living like that for the past 29 years.
Yep.
And maybe he said since he was 7, so 22 years she's lived for you, and the years before that she had a significant other, I would assume. So she was someone's girlfriend, wife, fiance, whatever the case may be. Like, women often, when they have children, and I don't have children, I've just heard this from others, like there's only a small period of your life before and after your marriage and your kids where it's just you. Everyone knows you as the mom or the wife or the in-law, or like when your kids leave or your marriage ends, exactly, like she probably doesn't even know what her is. I'm not saying she's a lost person, but like how to enjoy, not
many
solitude.
This is true.
Yeah. That solitude word is annoying to me, but like enjoy having fun as your mom. Not your mom, I don't know her name. Let's say her name is Lucy. As Lucy. How can we give him advice in that lane? I think would be beneficial.
True.
Good morning, Christy.
Morning, sorry.
What are your thoughts? Yeah, we can hear you.
We can.
Better than I can hear the other one.
Rude.
Given he's given more context, I'm still resting on my initial opinion when, how do I say this without sounding insensitive? There's clearly a dynamic there, because he said the impact to finding someone, number one. Number two, he said a broader conversation about single mums and being single or not getting married, a wider conversation. So to me, that's very telling because he's mentioned those two talking points. So to me, there's a certain dynamic there that needs more investigation to me, because he's given the context of him, how much he saved and all of this stuff, I'm not understanding why you can't meet someone. Because if I was dating him, again, as I said yesterday, there would be certain questions I would be to get to the bottom as to why you're living at home and whatever. If he's telling me all this information that he has, I'm not understanding why that would stop me from dating him. Because to me, he seems like he's got things in place.
So, that's why I question the finances. Yeah.
So I'm not understanding. Then there must be a dynamic in between him and his mom. Like I said, if a woman comes in, there may be a bit issue there. Because I don't get that, how that's stopping you from meeting someone
or buying a property.
I would. I mean, again, he could also buy a property and the mum still live there, and he could still be like, I own this property. She's living with me.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm not trying to sound insensitive, but I'm just, obviously I get it, because
why is
mum dynamic.
Sorry, Christy, go on.
The single, and he said from 7 years old, and it's been, again, it's a choice of words. It's been me against the world and stuff. And I don't know, maybe because me, I'm separate from my child's father, I don't view my son as me against the world. So I don't have that mindset. To me personally. So it's hard. I guess it's hard for me to relate to that, because he used that word used that phrase specific, me against the world. I know some mothers have that with their sons, and they become now the surrogate husband and all that kind of stuff. Me personally, I don't have those kind of feelings. But my son is my son, and that's that.
But Christy, can I ask this question though? Because obviously it's different with, like you said, with you and your son, yeah. But God forbid now, the situation now with you and your son continues, and he's 29. So now, picture you're far older.
No. He can never be 29.
Of course.
I'm sorry.
100%. Of course. God forbid. But I'm just saying, imagine you'd be a different person.
I would not create the environment for him to reach 29, and this is what we're talking about.
Okay. I hear you.
Impossible.
I wouldn't mind my child living until 29. I wouldn't mind my child living, but I would make sure, if you've got 100K, that's a lot to save. And maybe clearly the mum wasn't charging rent, but why are you not investing your money?
Why are we keep talking about investment is money? It's got nothing to do with anything. Forget investing money.
But that has nothing to do with it. It's the dynamic with the mum. It's not this. Forget. He's now explained that it's the dynamic with the mum that is posing an issue.
But is it? Because Christy, I feel like, Iman, maybe we need to go back to the actual lines in his email that had a question mark. Like, what is the question here? Because I think that it's very easy, or we've been doing it at least today and yesterday, where we've quickly gone back to, is he in good financial standing and does he have issues securing a woman? But I didn't take that to be the question. Nothing in there gave me the impression that he has issues keeping a relationship, or he did say that would moving out help him get a relationship, but that doesn't also mean that he's having problems
So I mentioned it. So I mentioned it. Sorry, because there was a reason why he mentioned it. Me personally,
he mentioned it today because yesterday we had an in-depth conversation about how at a lot of our big ages, I wouldn't be entertaining a 29-year-old man staying at home.
No, but that was the original dilemma, Stacey. That wasn't added on.
Yeah, it was an original dilemma.
Usually people stay at home due to financial reasons. So people saying it's not about finances. That's why people have the ick with majority. Is like, you clearly can't afford to move and live independently if you're living with your parents, if you're living in your childhood home. But clearly now we know the finance is not an issue. So why are you still living with your mum? Then there's a bigger issue with the codependency, etc. But finances are usually why people are still at home. If they had the money, they wouldn't take their mum saying, don't come in at certain hours. My house is not whatever it is. Because you don't have money to move out, you stay and put up with that.
But this is what he's
But
told us from
clearly he does have the money. So why are you still there?
But this is what he's told us from the beginning. He's told us from the beginning, it's all about my relationship with my mum. Like, I don't want to leave her. You know what I'm saying? Or rather,
I feel... Why did he bring up moving to East London? Why did he bring up moving to East London?
Because he wanted to. He wanted to initially, like, I'm looking for da-da-da-da-da. But I think he's also thinking, in conjunction with that, wait a minute, yo, my mum might feel a particular way about this. It's only been me and her since I was 7. You know what I'm saying? And remember, he also mentioned that she's in and out of work as well. So if he leaves her, he's obviously going to have to, I guess, help with the finances where she is at. You know what I'm saying?
He's clearly far above the average in the UK. He's earning good and he's saved a big deposit. So finances are not an issue. So he can still support his mum. It could still be a case of, I still give my mum £500 a month. A lot of people do that for their single parents. So it's not abnormal to find. Yeah.
Let me read it.
No, I was asking, is it wrong that I'm so averse to people in the chat calling him codependent? Because I really don't think this is a codependent issue.
I think it's a codependent issue.
Good morning, Jill. Good morning, Joshua, and good morning to Joki.
Can I just finish my question real quick about the codependent piece? It's just a question, and I think this might inform your answer, Janingis. I'm so averse to this word because I think it's not codependent because it seems like the way he's positioning it, correct me if I'm wrong because I was wrong the last time, is he's more worried about his mom when he leaves than him when he leaves. The concern with him is guilt, not I don't know if I can function. He can.
Yeah, exactly.
He's financially well off, but like he's more concerned about what is that going to do to my mom because for the past over 20 years,
I agree.
It's been me supporting her in my presence. When I got to a point where I was making money, there was an amount of provision there financially. Like
because he's been household.
He's talked about her job status. Yeah, I don't think he's arrested to his mom. I don't think emotionally, financially. I don't think it's any of that. I honestly think this has more to do with his concern with his mom than anything. So, are we really having a codependent conversation here?
Didn't just go.
Yes, because I think that in both of his very long dilemmas, he didn't once say like, "Oh, I've had a discussion with my mom. This is what my mom has said," or "I know that it's like a projection." And for someone who has a decent job, a well-paying job, you would think that he would have like reasoning skills, that he would pay attention to detail, that he would sit down and be like, okay, this is what we can do. I'm not going to abandon my mom because I know that she can't afford it, but we can get her a lodger. We can buy the house so that we can maybe rent it out. There's so many options that I think he hasn't really explored. He's just projecting the fact that if I leave, there's going to be no one to look after Mumsy, when Mumsy was the one looking after him until he started making money. So even if he did leave, Mum will be able to survive. And I don't get why he's so adamant that she cannot. Maybe there are reasons that he hasn't shared with us as to why his mum's life will fall apart if he moves. Also, he doesn't have to necessarily move so far away. He could live nearby. I feel like there's just so many other options that could help in this situation that he's not even considering.
There's a lady on my road that went house hunting for her grandma in a wheelchair. Her grandma's in a wheelchair. I would think the grandma would live with her. No, they're house hunting for the grandma. Literally. And meanwhile, she's like, I just live down the road. Grandma, don't worry, I'll put the bin in the chute for you. So like what you said, you can live closer and just come when you can, in and out. Come for dinner. I'm sure she can cook or whatever, and she can cook for you. But sometimes some people don't realize their parents don't need them as much as they think they do. It's like our children. Yeah. We're really, really mollycoddling them. It's like, they'll be all right if you didn't bash the rules and regulations. So maybe just him realizing that stepping back doesn't mean that she won't be okay, giving her that independence. And maybe she's okay being alone at certain times and not always with someone. And encourage her to explore friendships outside. So if she's got that one best friend, hey, mummy, as Stacey said, let me pay for a holiday for you and her to go. No one's going to say no to a free holiday. But the money you've got, use it to finance certain things.
Like when he listens back to this point, I would like him to answer if his mum has actually said to him, I don't want you to leave, or I can't afford for you to leave, or I would like for you to stay until a little bit longer or whatever. because I know like yesterday, some people were saying that like there's a lot of parents who really need or want their children to stay just for the financial element of it. But I also think that at the same time, there are a lot of parents that want their grandchildren. They want you to live. They want you to live your life. And I like, unless he says otherwise, I find it hard to believe that his mum will like begrudge him of that.
I think it's hard to believe that his mom is guilting him the way some people are trying to make it seem. I think a manipulative parent would be hard to leave out, unless there's the suspicion that you guys
he
are
would feel less guilty.
asking.
He wouldn't be sending this in. He'd feel less guilty.
And I think to Jananja's point earlier, I think the projections is the question. I think he's not confused on whether, I think he's confused on how. And that's the point of the dilemma. It's like, I think he understands the part that you're saying that he's projecting certain concerns. I think he recognizes them as concerns for him. And that projection that we're observing is him trying to navigate how, which is the very point of the question, which is why I'm saying I think it'd be beneficial to give him some tools on how to more comfortably exit that situation while also making sure he's learning how to get out of that guilt.
And it doesn't have to be that you sanitize completely. You can still get. I think we have to be like the Europeans in how they treat their older generation. Whereas the Asians, I know someone was saying it's toxic in their community, but there's a balance. You can have both. You can have your parents in your life actively, where you do things for them as well. It's not a crime. You're not wasting your money. They didn't waste their money as well. Do you know what I mean? If some parents are well off, if they leave you an inheritance, but while they're alive, you might be chipping in here and there for something. Mum, let me pay for your council tax. Let me pay for this electricity bill. It's not the end of the world. It doesn't mean they failed. And I think that's the thing we have to get out of as well.
Good morning to Joki and Joshua. What are your thoughts on this? Chime in, please.
Morning. You want to go first?
That's so lovely of you.
You can go first. You can go first.
Love. I mean, I hear it, innit? But I think he just needs to move out simply due to the fact that he's missing out on a huge part of experience, and he's potentially making assumptions about how his mum would feel. Even if she did struggle, she needs to experience that. But the place I kind of wanted to go is, what are we preparing our children for? Even if they are like descendant of first generation immigrants, the parents are preparing you to go out into the world. So with what he's obviously been able to garner, because he seems to be, based on what he's said he's garnered, he must be like hyper productive. So he can manage. So he just needs to accept the fact that people may not like what you're going to do, his mum being the person, but he has to experience that and be a good son with how well she's prepared him seemingly, and then just give back by being outside. His family, him having his own family and prioritizing something like that can allow him to give more help, because now he has little grandkids. Like when my youth stays at his grandma's every day. When he's older, he's going to be helping her every day. That's just the little things you can give whilst you're out there being productive. Many people dream about having that much money, and he's obviously be able to control his emotions, but now he needs to accept the fact that his mum may like it, but he can still be there. He does, even if he is far away.
All right, Chijoke?
I mean, based on what I've heard, I don't know if he specifically had the conversation with his mum. It just sounds like he's kind of projecting what he thinks will happen if he leaves. And I think in that point, it's a bit more tough to say exactly what he should do if he's not had that conversation. I don't think he's necessarily saying or shown that he doesn't want to leave, or I think he's more thinking of, because you get some people who say, I'm fine. And remember, from what, I don't know if did he say he was only child?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, so I think he's thinking, it's me that has to do it. I don't have a sibling that can step in. So if she does have issues, and let's say that he is trying to look for a place, that he's not finding a place suitable where he can live close enough, and also do and like pay for certain things, because I don't know what house prices are like around E, but I know around South it's crazy, even on 85K a year.
Mm-hmm.
So I think all that mixed in is, I think the conversation with the mum is the most important thing.
I'm confused.
Sorry, can I just say one last thing?
Yeah, after I say something, please. Why are people assuming he would come and ask us for advice before gauging, like, where his mom's sentiments are?
Yeah.
Like, would he know his mother better than us?
Yeah, this is it. He knows his mum, man. He knows his mum. And he feels bad because he knows.
Yeah, but
Sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say, I'm not saying that he hasn't necessarily had the conversation, but it may be how he said it. He might be like, oh, Mum, I'm looking at this place or that place. And she might be like, oh, that's nice. But it's not like gone into depth in terms of how it will look or what will happen when he actually moves out.
Go on, Joshua.
Sorry, I was going to say, so to answer Von's question, the reason why
What was
is
Von's
because
question?
of practicality. He was asking why my youth is with his grandma every day. Practicality. Like, we're both two working parents. He lives with me, so it's not like, I think you've just read into it too much. But why wouldn't he want to be with his grandma rather than some random childminder or a nursery where I don't have no control? So I think having those good family connections and bonds is fine. It's also just a practicality thing. But I also don't think, as a child or even as an adult, if you have good practical reasons, there's no problem staying with your family. That's why Asian families can do it. It's just about how you engage. Sometimes I think, like, what is it that you're doing in your house that means that you can't have your older parents about? Like, I'm not doing nothing mad no more. I've got that out of my system personally, innit? But I'm not doing anything mad where I can't have my family around and engage in activities that are good for us as a community. And I think he needs to understand that he can do that without him being in his mum's house. Because as long as he's there, she is in control. Even if he moves out and then moves her in, that dynamic has automatically changed because now he's in control. And I think he just needs to switch the control, not that he needs to kick his mum out, innit?
I hear what you're saying about the control, but I think also, just to go back to your earlier point, I think that it's the practicality though. Remember, he hasn't established anything in terms of his family life, innit? So let's just say he does move out. He's got a new place. He's got his hold on one second. This guy. Ben just put a comment on the screen. Black Air Max Energy says, I'm not putting my kid in no preschool nursery. I make the missus stay at home. All right. Anyway, so like I was saying, I think it's the practicality of it. So even if he does move out, buy his own place, have his mum over, when he's inviting his interest over, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think he just wants the space to live, to get things wrong, to navigate, to maneuver, trial and error, all of that sort of stuff, and just be free in his own environment. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you've got this girl, you invite her over. You don't have to say to your mum, oh, mum, bring somebody over. Do you mind staying upstairs? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I think those things are in his head. So even though you guys are saying long term, I think what you guys are saying makes sense. Yes, you can have your mum living with you in a room somewhere, whatever it may be, feeling free and all that sort of stuff. But I think the initial steps, how you get there, is kind of tricky. Someone's still in the chat.
Everybody's still there. They just they agree with you, I guess. I don't know.
Also, let me read out something just to remind you guys again from the initial dilemma, just so it's clear, so you can understand a bit more of the dynamics here. He says, "My mum relied on me emotionally and practically for so long, and I don't know how to untangle that without feeling like I'm abandoning her." So this is obviously, like Brent saying, like, he knows his mum. You know, he knows that this woman is attached to him in some capacity, that if he leaves, it will have an effect on her. That's not him saying or me saying or anyone saying, oh, he shouldn't leave, but just saying, how does he manage that? Because she's tired, she's going to feel it.
And with that level of entanglement, any girl he looks to bring into the environment, she's going to have an issue with it.
Yeah, true indeed.
I don't think so. I hate that our minds are so... what am I saying? I'm a negative Nancy myself. For this particular thing, like, even now that you've read that again, I think it reinforces my point about, like, maybe asking mom about some of her friends and like how you can support her rekindling those relationships again. Because I'm no mother, so the mothers, please stand up. But I've seen this happen with my aunts, and even like little glimpses of what will probably evolve to similar issues. And I'm not saying his mom has an issue, it's just my generalization. And how a lot of women that I know in my age group deal with relationships, people really step outside themselves to step into these roles of being someone's significant other, being someone's parent, etc. And like the essence of like enjoying life as an individual can sometimes get lost. So I honestly think that maybe the mom did, as a single mother for so many years, spend so much time, whether it's working, whether it's providing, whatever the case may be, that support was probably a lot more reciprocal than what's implied by how he's putting it grammar wise. I don't want it to seem like he's putting more than what she's giving in an unhealthy way. No, naturally, if you're a single parent, I would imagine if it's you taking care of your son, there are some, he said even up till now, sometimes she has a hard time, keeping up with bills and that kind of thing. That probably is something that existed when he was young.
Yeah.
So she had to spend a lot of time making sure that those things were provided for when he was in position to support her financially, So I think again, having that conversation with his mom, trying to figure out, okay, mom, like, who are some of your closest friends? Like getting to know her outside the role of mom might aid in how you transition, because that's something that she's gonna have to rekindle in herself. And that's more of a personal journey than anything. But again, I bring up the point. I really do think he's questioning how he can do that without that abandonment feeling. And that's where we should throw our support. So we already gave the idea of paying for a trip. It could be dinners, like little things, taking her and her friends to do a spa day, or like taking them to dinner and just like kikiing and talking and learning more about what your mom and her friends consider fun. Like teach her mom how to, not live life again, because I don't want to imply that she's not been living life, but live life again.
I like what Stacey's saying. She's suggesting that the monkey should grab another branch. So find a branch for the monkey to grab before letting go of the Yeah.
I hate the way you said it, but
can I just say, I think I'm because I do want to sound this. I think the feelings are definitely valid considering the amount of time. Yes. However, I think those feelings are unavoidable. He's gonna have to rip the band-aid off. I don't know that those feelings are unavoidable. It's gonna have to happen. He's gonna have to go through it. She's gonna have to go through it. But him just being stagnant, it's not gonna help the situation.
I agree.
He has to just move forward. He has to. The feelings of the guilt, all that can't be avoided, unfortunately. She's been a single parent for that long, so it can't be avoided. So there is going to be growing pains. So I agree that then maybe certain things can take place to maybe minimize that, but it's not going to. It's impossible. Those feelings are just going to happen.
Yeah, I agree.
Communication between the both, back and forth, and all of that, and try to make it and not make it, because you're not abandoning her. It's not like you're moving to another country. You're still, from what I'm getting, you're still trying to be in London. So London ain't that big.
You see what you were saying before? Sorry. I thought you said.
Can I say something, please?
Is that Bathroom
Hi
Diaries?
guys.
Good morning, Bathroom Diaries.
Good morning, guys. Hope everyone is well. I just wanted to quickly jump on and say this quickly, because I'm also only child, so I kind of get where he's coming from. But I feel like he's definitely taken on the parent role, and things have switched. And maybe, like, the thing is, he has to realize that his mom's lived before him. So where he's taken on the feelings like, oh, I feel like I'm abandoning her. Of course, you're going to feel like that because you've never actually experienced moving out, like, at all. But the fact is, you're not abandoning her. And he needs to be a bit more logical in terms of, it's going to feel like you're abandoning her, but at the end of the day, you actually need to experience this. And I feel like sometimes, especially with only children, you can kind of take on feelings that actually don't exist. Like your mom, of course, she's going to miss you, but she might want you to spread your wings, but you're staying there. So I feel like there could be a lack of communication. And I also think the more he stays there, the more he's in that kind of, I'm going to say, emotionally abusive dynamic where you're feeling like, or you've gotten to the point where you both actually rely on each other, or you feel like I can't leave her because she's going to
you know, something's going to happen to her. And I also said in the chat before that I don't know if he's religious or even spiritual, but you actually have to have faith in God or faith in whatever you believe in, that things will work out regardless. Even if you go on holiday for a month, that you have to believe that my mom's going to be fine, because that kind of guilt for the rest of your life is actually going to affect the relationships you have with women in general, because it's like, oh, you can't do this because I'm thinking of my mom. And it's cool to think of your mom, it's cool to love your mom, but you actually just need to cut the ties, like cut the umbilical cord that still exists in y'all, and just see what it's like to be a bit more independent and a bit more free and experience life. And you're not abandoned, like you can go and visit her, you can go call her, like, and I think you both will grow, you both need to grow. And that's it, y'all. Thank you.
Yeah, but he said that he can't get no loving because his mum's there.
He didn't say he can't.
But also his mum can't get no loving because he's there.
The perspective we need. Thank you.
It's so interesting how you read that he said his mother has relied on him emotionally and physically.
Yep.
And I'm still hearing this.
No, because, you know,
No.
I don't want to say anything. But, you know what I'm saying?
Maybe he's projecting when he's typing that.
100%.
But we're only going off the back of what he's provided for us, right?
Yeah, but he's provided, like, I don't understand why you guys don't see that this whole thing is him just not being logical, because
He's
he
actually looking
provided
for a
so much
house.
information.
He's asking us, should we move into an Asian area? Should we move into a black area? He's actually house hunting.
You don't hear what you want
Yeah,
to hear.
but what? Wait,
That's
hold
why
on,
you can't win,
why,
you know.
why was it that? Because I can't remember that first dilemma. So why was it that you want to move to the Asian area? Was it because of affordability?
Can't be. He's got 100K. And 85.
He's got money.
I think he's not telling us a lot. He's missing a lot out.
Exactly.
He's not
like
missing
an
out.
emotionally driven place,
That's nothing.
and a place that places the emphasis on what his mum is doing, but also taking the limelight off of what he is not doing. If you are mature enough, like, I don't know, like if they offered him a role in his job, like let's say they said, oh, you have to go to Canada for 6 months or something, would he say no because, oh, mummy won't be able to
Yes, he will say
survive
no.
without
He will
me?
say no,
He'll
yes.
say no.
He will
Yes.
question it, yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Question
But
it,
maybe
but
mummy can't. Maybe he's not telling us a lot about his mum. Maybe she
Because
needs somebody
he
there.
isn't, and I want to know why.
Precisely,
I
because
wanna-
he's got 100K in
wanna-
the bank.
I want us to like not. I think this is a normal thing when we get dilemmas. We're never gonna have every detail, right? It's just not possible. But what I don't like, and this is not any shade to anybody here, why
Too
are we
late.
looking for problems to have? Like, if he's asking, should I live in an Asian area or a black area? It's well established that this man has never lived on his own before. You can't just be like nice apartments within 30-mile radius. Like, surely he's looking for context as to things he should look for when he's trying to find a place to establish himself independently. What is so wrong in asking that? Another person's version of that might be, oh, should I move here? They have more walkable distance restaurants, or this particular place is more dog friendly. Should I prioritize the dog friendly area over the restaurant? Central area. Like, this is a very relevant
He's
question.
already saying that it's really important for him to, like, he still wants to have a sense of maybe still being there for his mum and stuff like that. And to me, that's not if that's like a priority for you, then you know what you need to do. Move somewhere that's not too far away, that you can still do. You can send groceries to your parent, to your mum, on like maybe like on a monthly basis if you feel like she's so incapable of providing for herself.
Already.
No, but you want practical, right?
So
like,
okay, all right. So watch this, guys. So if you, obviously women, you want a man who's emotionally present. If a man says, I'm just gonna buy you stuff, send it to you on weekends, and that's emotionally present, would you accept that?
Finance, not romance.
This is for his mum.
Now you can make a distinction. Listen, when he was talking about his mum is emotionally reliant on him, you can't just say, oh yeah, just give me stuff, buy her groceries and all that. No, he's concerned because on a day-to-day, she only sees him in the house. There'll come a time when he's not there. She'll walk around the house and see nobody, just doors, just watching the news.
It's going to be a Band-Aid that he has to rip. We already established that it's going to be a growing pain.
But that's what I'm trying to say to you. So we have to stick to that, though, innit? Like, don't make it about the money and all that
There's
stuff.
FaceTime.
Stick to that.
He can come around once a month.
There's
In an
living
effort,
closer, not in the Asian area. Why can't you pick an area next to her to move to? Why does he have
in
to
an
go to
eff-
Upton Park?
in an effort to not talk in circles, I think we should resurface the things we've established. We've already established this is not a codependency thing. This is genuine concern for leaving his mom after years. We've established that. We've established it's not financial. This man has beyond the means to buy if he wanted to, rent if he wanted to. We've already established that. We already established he probably could have done that a long time ago. So we're not going back and forth about why he's choosing now. He's already in action about now. What we all haven't figured out yet is how to help this man in making that transition practically, giving him tangible advice on how he can go about supporting his mom in that transition
I like your
without
solution.
Exactly.
questioning,
Stacey, I like your
without
solution. Get her
questioning.
some Willie and get her some
Ah,
girlfriends.
girlfriends is the priority, but like
Yes.
things like that. How can we give him tangible
Just
advice, action items on how, because we're not questioning, oh, his mom is emotionally arresting him, his mom is yada. No, please. What are some things he can do to make the transition more, sustainable for his mom, to where his mom can learn to live in healthy solitude, not solitude by circumstance.
So, Stacey, quick question: can he teach his mum how to do that? Like, at all?
I've already answered this, and I've said that part of that is a personal journey. Stop laughing. I'm being for real. Part of it is a personal journey for his mom that his mom is going to have to learn and discover on his own. But for the sake of the inquirer being the one asking the question and not the mom, that to me, I gave a step, something that he can do to do that. I said that he can take his mom and maybe a girlfriend out to dinner and just talk about things they found fun when they were young, or paying for them to travel somewhere that they've always wanted to travel before. So that his mom can be
Or,
reminded of that feeling of having fun as a person. I already gave my contributions. I'm curious to
or
know
be
I
what
think
you
that's a
guys
good idea.
okay, or
Or
be okay
sponsor one of her
mentally with the
sisters from
fact
back
that,
home to come and live with her.
and then so
It's got
so she
money.
can be looking for her when she runs away. I
Say that
think
again.
the other question is, I say immigration will come looking for that auntie who now wants to not return.
She will
Um,
return. He'll do things
no,
by
the
the
key.
books.
Also, the another thing is, if the mum has become so codependent, let's use the word codependent for lack of a better word. Yeah, I'm not saying a negative light. If she's become so codependent, sometimes they don't actually want other friends because everything is intentional. It's hard to be a single parent and then have another like a relationship because you have to pick the child sometimes over the other man. But with friendship, it's so easy to make community. It might not be genuine. Look how many people in church with fake friends, but they still understand the need of community. There's people that have like local village groups and stuff like that. I don't know what people call it in different languages, but there's so many communities that people can find. And I find a lot of parents are not sociable, but by choice. So maybe the mum doesn't mind being alone. Yes, she's codependent, but maybe if you left, she's okay being alone as well because she's chosen that life. But be it circumstances, she's chosen to not have friends. She's chosen to not go to somebody's house. She's chosen that life. So maybe she's okay with not having a girlfriend come over for 6 months or going to back home for 6 months, as someone said in the comments. She could be
But
very
Jackie, I
well
think
okay
that's
with
his
it.
concern, because how many of us grew
That's what
up
I'm
with
saying.
parents
Yes,
saying no,
that's
no,
your
no, but in a
concern.
negative way? Because how many of
Yes.
us grew up with parents? At least my parents are together, have been together my whole life, but my parents are excited to be empty nesters. So I
Yes.
think it's kind of strange that his mom hasn't mentioned in his 29 years of life, "Ah, please be leaving. I'm ready to live my life without you
She would
around."
have done
I think that
communicated
that
that.
stimulates his concern in a valid way.
But some
So
parents
what you're
also
saying
will talk as
exactly is
though no, but some
the
parents talk as
opposite.
though it's negative. Some people, oh, how are you? Hey, they always complain, but really, it's like that's just their natural disposition to see it in a negative, speaking wise. But maybe internally they're okay with it, if that makes sense.
So he needs to
Some
talk to his
parents have,
mom.
some parents have made, they've made their deep, like they've made peace with how their life is, but maybe the kids will have that emotional burden of thinking, oh, my mom's not okay. Who told you she's not okay?
Well,
Like you said, he hasn't had that conversation with his mum to know that she's okay with him moving, or she'd rather him not move to the Asian area and move closer.
What I hear is all of us are saying the same thing in different fonts. Old boy needs to talk to his mom. and be prepared to put some money behind showing his mom a good time if that's what she needs in order to figure out how to comfortably go back to, being
Because he has
herself.
$100K in the bank. Hey, 100K.
Yeah, I think he should buy the house at least, or buy a house at least, and then deal with the next step later.
Do you think he should involve her in the process?
Negative.
No, because he needs to show that he is his own person,
but he knows
and he can make decisions for himself.
Oh my goodness, that's
and
not
he's
his
not a baby.
struggle. That's not his
But
struggle.
So then why is it a problem? Then just buy the house and then deal with what comes next afterwards.
I'm saying that so that the mum can maybe become a bit more familiar with the idea that she is letting him go.
Okay.
So it's not just an abrupt thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, cool, yeah. I'm getting used to the idea that my son is leaving. You know what I'm saying?
But no, because he's not her husband. He doesn't have to consult with her with these kind of like this. I think that would be a nice approach. But I think in this instance, it's about making like a clear line. And then once you've done it, you've done it. Like I think Chrissy said, ripping the Band-Aid off. Just rip it. And then you will have the initial kind of like awkwardness and pain that will last for about 5 minutes. And then you work on it. Like,
all right, so just let me ask you this, yeah. Obviously, God forbid, it's a similar question that I asked Christy, yeah, but God forbid, yeah. You're now wherever you are, and your son is 29.
Yeah.
Would it be easy for you to just be like, okay, it's time to leave?
So I have a son, right? And I'm a single parent, but I think Chrissy was like, oh, by 29, he has to be gone. I'm not of that
exactly
position of like, oh, he has to be gone by whatever age. You can stay for whatever age you want to stay, but I would be concerned as to like maybe if you're 30 or 35, like why aren't you leaving? I probably would be one of those ones, one of those mothers that would be like, where's your girlfriend? Where's your wife? Where's my grandbabies?
Yeah.
And asking
if it's like,
no, at what? Not necessarily at 35, but I'm saying even if he was 35 and he was still at home, I wouldn't necessarily. I would need to understand the reason why. I wouldn't just not speak. Like I would have the conversation with him from whatever, because I think like for me, once I'd lived away for uni, and my mind was that when I come back after living alone, there's no way that I can come back and live. Like in my parents' home anymore, because I'd already experienced independence. So I would expect him to have that same kind of reasoning. And if he doesn't, I would want to understand why. If it's that actually he can't afford it, even if he's at a grown age, okay, cool, you can stay. I'm never going to kick my child out, but I will encourage that. I would encourage him to move on. And I sometimes think like I work, right? And I go to the office and sometimes I come home and like my son's put food in the oven for me. So I come home and there's like food ready for me. Yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so like, in my mind, I'm like, no, I feel sometimes a little bit in a way that's like, oh, he shouldn't be doing that. Like I'm the parent.
Yeah.
I should be doing that. So I would want him to have his own independence and not grow up like he's my husband. Like, no, he's not my husband. Yeah. He's my son. Exactly. And I don't want to give him that
role and responsibility.
Like, I don't want him to ever feel like he is responsible. I guess like the way that this this dilemma person is feeling. I wouldn't want to give my son that. But also at the same time, I just wouldn't I wouldn't be like, oh, he's 40. He has to leave if for whatever reason. Hopefully there's no reason why he should still be 40 and live in my house, because I got things to be doing and I don't think you want to see those things. So
no, but that's not going to be happening. That's not happening when you're 60.
What did you just suggest?
Yeah, we have to skate over that part. But is that really going to be happening when you're 60? And this is what this the extra stuff that you want to be doing. But what I'm trying to say,
60?
Yeah.
You're so annoying. What do you mean?
Obviously, at that time, like you're done.
Even at 99,
I wouldn't have that if I was.
You're right.
99.
Man, some of the extracurriculars that parents talk about are not only sexual, bro. When I hear some of the things my mom was excited to do when her kids left the house, I was like,
I've got the laptop.
No, but
fourth
Gin and
grade.
Gist is definitely talking about that.
Yeah,
innit?
she's talking about.
She's a maniac.
I know that's what she's talking about.
I don't know what your
I know
problem
that's
is.
what she's talking about, but I'm just adding further context. Some parents want to know what it feels like to go shop at Trader Joe's and shop like a single person again. My mom loves that shit. She can't do that with a family. She got to be at Costco. I don't want half the shit in this car, but I have to feed y'all.
Oh man, I mean, you know what? We do have to wrap up in it, but yeah, I appreciate what you said, Stacey. In terms of the solution, we need to give him solutions, innit? So I guess I feel as though he's probably gonna update the dilemma in it because of how much you guys kept talking
He
about.
wants to
certain
basically
things.
get rid of this whole codependence.
Yeah, exactly. He's definitely gonna disabuse you of certain ideas, guys. So exactly. So what we'll do is tomorrow in the intro, we'll quickly read out his update, give him the solutions, and we get on to the rest of the show.
Yeah, maybe if some people in the community also have like single moms, or maybe they can have like a play date.
Play date? What? What do you mean?
Are the mom's dogs? What's going on here?
Like maybe we could like someone else in the community might be like, oh my gosh, my mom's actually lonely. Maybe she's a widow, or maybe she's also single, and then he could be like, oh, I know somebody that I can introduce you to.
Empty nester support group.
Yeah,
we've
like
got
this is
mum
what the
support
community
group.
for, no?
I think it's true. Why can't they have
He sounds
those
like
new fostered groups at that age?
No, it's good, but
There's running
we gotta
clubs. We
call
have
it
running
something else.
clubs. Yeah,
he
call it
sounds like a
something
rich
else.
man. He sounds like a rich man. One of you lot should move him up. Solve the problem.
Gin and Gist, you might want to date him.
Nah, he's got codependency issues. No, I'm joking.
No, he doesn't. He's got
know.
100K. He's got 100K.
But
Jackie.
can you add, Iman, can you add to the list of questions? Since we're going to get an update, can we add questions people can rest?
Yes.
Is his mom, what do you call it? We should ask him, please.
Is your
Inquirer,
mom?
question for
sorry,
you.
go. Yeah.
Is your mom pushing you out? Or not pushing you out, but is your mom expressing any signs or any behaviors of concern when it comes to you wanting to move? Is she pressuring you to stay? Is she the one who's dependent on you being around? Is that a concern for her? People have asked how old your mom is. I don't know how that's relevant, but for the sake of their information, maybe the context will be helpful.
relevant,
We should be
very
asking the
relevant.
last questions now.
Yeah. And also, let me ask you this, yeah. Honestly, if you leave, for example, in a month's time from now, what do you think your mum will do? Honestly.
Yeah.
Like, what do you envision your mum being like if you were to leave your home in a month's time from now? Answer that question just kind of briefly, and then we can expand from there. And then, yeah, I think that's it.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, guys, for calling up. Appreciate you, Stacey, Christy, Jackie, Joshua, Chijoke. Did I miss? I missed somebody, didn't I? Apart from
I
Diaries.
don't know how much Chijoke contributed. I don't think he should.
He took the time to talk to us, but you know what I mean. And he always tells us stuff we don't know.
Shout out Chijoke.
There you go. But yes, people, we're gonna have to wrap up, and yeah, hopefully our good brother will update us, answer our questions, and then we can tackle this and give him some real solutions in the intro tomorrow.
Yeah. Maybe you could also give him some advice as to where to invest his money.
100%.
His money is depreciated.
That 100%. You know what I'm saying? We haven't had people's journey for a while, but I've been telling you to keep people for 2 years now. Your money is depreciating 100%. You know what I'm saying? Yes.
All right, let's push on to the headlines.
Yeah. What is that? I didn't see it. No, I'm seeing the earth, innit? Look at my screen. Oh, yeah, it's back now. All right, people. So our last set of headlines.
I mean, well, Liv used to do it when I was off, so.
Look, can you mute that, please?
He was doing something.
This guy.
We'll see what she's up to. What is it? She's
Diabolical.
Food on.
All right, so
let's see what that's up to.
I ain't got time for this. Christy, can you hear us?
You're not muted.
Yeah, but he didn't do anything apart from sales of us. He didn't do anything else.
She's talking to her son's teacher.
He could raise credits and stuff, but he'd only do that.
Smart guy.
No, sorry, in terms of like sales and stuff.
Brent, please.
I have muted it. God damn it.
All right, people. So, Papa Essiedu, who is one of the stars of the new Harry Potter series, is among the hundreds of TV and film professionals who have signed an open letter calling for industry action on trans rights.
Come on.
Brent, can you put out Papa Essiedu first, please? Papa and Essiedu. The letter, expressing solidarity with the trans and non-binary community, demands that industry institutions such as BAFTA, BBC, BFI, and Channel 4 commit to protecting and including trans people. It was started by motion pictures producer Sid Strickland and script editor Jack Casey, just 2 weeks after the controversial UK Supreme Court ruling that defines a woman based on biological sex. Essiedu's decision to sign the support follows his recent casting as Severus. Is it Snape?
Huh?
Is it Snape? Severus Snape. I can't remember.
Okay.
Is it Snape? Yeah, I can't remember. Anyway.
Hold up.
All right. So our next headline, prolific fare dodgers are to be prioritised by Transport for London in a highly ambitious new crackdown that aims to more than half the evasion rate by the end of the decade. So this will see efforts that are currently focused on the tube being expanded to include the Elizabeth Line and the London Overground. TfL, which loses about £190 million a year due to unpaid fares, says that it will also make efforts to address what appears to be a growing epidemic of blatant gate pushing. TfL's efforts to clamp down on fare evasion have been hampered by the Metropolitan Police's decision not to support operations targeting bus fare evasion since an incident in Croydon in 2023 sparked huge controversy. This led to the police officer involved being fined for assaulting a passenger he had wrongly arrested before his conviction was overturned a year later. TfL, which is spending £18 million on fare evasion initiatives this year, confirmed to the Standard that it is able to call on the support of the BTP, the British Transport Police, on its rail network, but it does not carry out joint operations with the Met on the bus network. £18 million on fare evasion initiatives. A Labour MP has been reprimanded for sharing a social media post accusing the party leader, Sir Keir Starmer, of being influenced by Israel. The post, which Labour condemned for containing incorrect and unacceptable tropes, prompted a formal reminder of conduct for MP Clive Lewis. The party confirmed that Lewis has rightly apologised for the offence caused. The post originated from the ex-account of historian Louise Raw, who had shared an image of a child along with the words, "Very sorry about the photo, but I want to understand how everyone isn't screaming inside. A precious baby still trying to smile and show love. How aren't you in tears every day, Keir Starmer? You have kids. How are you still taking Israel's money and orders? How?" So Mr. Lewis, who's been an MP for Norwich South since 2015, reposted it before deleting it. This is what Labour said. And yeah, man, long story short, a community note added to the post later said that the image was unrelated to Israel's war on Hamas and instead showed a young Turkish boy with a rare genetic skin disorder. Yeah, that's what they're saying, man. But anyway, that's it for the headlines, people. Time to pay them bills. Let's get into the reaction. All right, people. Welcome to the reaction. It's going to be a quick one. Just want to let you guys know the scores, of course. There were some big games yesterday. What would you say is the biggest game yesterday, Brent?
Inter Milan.
Absolutely not. Aston Villa women played Arsenal women, and they beat Arsenal women 5-2, man. You know what I'm saying? And Manchester United women, they also played as well. This is the Women's Super League, by the way. And they lost to Chelsea women 1-0. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, that is...
Ian Wright would agree.
You know what I'm saying? Ian Wright was there.
Yeah, he would agree with that. Yeah.
Ian Wright. You know what I'm saying? Next score, which is of subpar importance, was in UEFA Champions League. And there was a draw, man. Barcelona Inter Milan. Did you see that game briefly, Brent?
Yeah.
10 seconds. Yeah?
Yeah.
Good game.
It was a fantastic game. Fantastic.
Apparently, it was dramatic. You know what I'm saying? Semi-final game ended in a 3-3 draw. Inter Milan took an early 2-0 lead. Marcus Thuram and Denzel Dumfries. They scored, but Barcelona fought back, man, with amazing goals, apparently, from Yamal and Torres. For those who don't know, like me. Yamal's 17-year-old sensation, he scored a mesmerising solo goal and nearly added a second, showcasing his exceptional dribbling skills. Dumfries scored his second goal to put Inter back in the lead, but a deflected shot from Rafinha resulted in an own goal. Damn, by Summer, tying the score, man. And despite Inter Milan's strong performance and Inzaghi's praise, what Inzaghi is this? Filippo Inzaghi? This ain't Filippo Inzaghi.
Sure.
Is Inzaghi?
Talking about the manager?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez. Been out of the game, man. Anyway, go on, what you gonna say, Ben?
It's crazy to call that goal reflected.
Oh, serious?
Deflected. Yeah.
I never said. That's what they're saying, man.
They hit the crossbar and it popped off the keeper's back and it went in. Mental. It was a nice shot though, man.
Okay. Well, the game ended in a draw, leaving both teams with a chance in the second leg, man. Who would you want to win to then play Arsenal in the final?
To play Arsenal in the final. Cross. That's speculative. Very optimistic. I like that. Who would I want to play in the final? Probably.
While you're doing that, I've just been corrected by Fernando Starcrow. It's Simone Inzaghi, man, not Filippo Inzaghi. It's the other Inzaghi.
There's only one Inzaghi.
It's two.
No, there's only one. What was the one that you referred to?
Huh?
There's only one.
I hate you. But yes. You don't mind who? Arsenal's winning either way?
At this point, I'm just focused on PSG, bro. Yeah. I don't like to do that kind of stuff.
All right. Life of Budge says they got balls, but need
Let me participate
to
anyway.
black
I like
players.
when it is asked a question, you're like, I can't think past that. I would like Barcelona in the finals.
What'd you say?
I like Barcelona in the finals.
Okay. Against Arsenal?
Yes.
Okay. I thought you said I don't want Arsenal in the final. I thought that's what you said. Okay,
No,
cool.
I definitely want Arsenal in the final.
Okay. Well, guys, TC said Arsenal need Inter to win, man. So yeah. Anyway, guys, we gonna go into the wrap up, man.
Barca didn't even have Lewandowski. Barca don't need Lewandowski.
Guy still plays?
It's the same Lewandowski, yeah. It's not of a Lewandowski.
How old is this guy though?
He's fit enough to play.
True indeed.
I think Modric is like 54 at this point.
But he's exceptional though, man.
Exceptional.
Oh, beautiful player.
I think he's
You know what I'm
55.
Huh?
55.
No chance. No chance.
Ronaldo is 42.
He don't play though.
What?
Well, Ronaldo. Which Ronaldo is about?
Yeah. You're right. I like that you said that. Because there is only one Ronaldo. Number 9. But I'm talking about number 7. CR7.
Yeah, what team does he play for?
Team in
America or Saudi? Okay, why'd you whisper? This guy. Brent, let's get to the wrap up, man.
All right. Where is it? Here you go.
All right, people. So it's been a good show, man. It's been a very good show. We're gonna be back here tomorrow, 8 o'clock. And yeah, man, we're gonna go over.
You even believe yourself when you said it. I don't know why you keep saying that crap.
8:15 then. You know what I'm saying? No, we have to say 8 o'clock so everyone can get ready, innit? And then they can sit down. We operate on your time, guys. You know what I'm saying?
A quick question before we leave.
Yeah.
Would y'all prefer we start at 9 a.m. or 8 a.m.?
Now, it's 8 o'clock.
Would y'all prefer we start at
They've asked you
9
your question
a.m.
before, you know. Remember you asked them before?
or 8 a.m.? They said, whatever it is, make sure it's on time. I remember them saying that.
That's one.
But we didn't abide by that.
They did.
What?
When have we not started at 8:15?
Crazy bars. Jillian just says 7. TC says 8. Amy says 8. Stacey says 8.
Beautiful. 8 o'clock it
Davina
is.
says 8. DCF Mook says stop thinking for others.
You know what I'm
Nash
saying?
says 8:45.
What?
Joshua says 6:30.
8:45.
Blacker says 8:30. Ephraim says 8. Akua says 8. Daniel M says 8.
Everybody said 8, man.
DCF Mook says he prefers 8:15. I know what type of thing is that. TC says 7:30 will be dope. Life of Budge says 9.
Life of Budge. Every time there's a problem. Why 9? Why? You're here at 8 anyway.
It's more convenient. Oh my gosh.
All right, I gotta go, people. Microsoft, they're saying they're gonna protect Europe against Trump. And obviously we heard about the firearms officer who was cleared of murdering Chris Kappa. He's gonna be facing gross misconduct hearing. US and Ukraine signed natural resources deal and agreed to establish an investment fund. We know what that's about. And also we spoke about the US, and how there's a risk of recession, especially as we got the recent figures saying that the economy has shrunk. I believe it's by 0.3%. And we spoke about the former England striker Eni Aluko and how she's pulled out, man, of a presenting role at this week's Women's Football Awards, which is a shame, man. But we're going to get into that tomorrow in the topic of the day. You know what I'm saying? And we had a brilliant dilemma, part 2. I guess we're going to have part 3 tomorrow in the intro. So make sure you're here at 8 o'clock, guys, because we're going to be discussing it in the beginning of the show. And yeah, man. Amazing football yesterday as well, guys. Man United and Chelsea women, and Aston Villa women and Arsenal women.
Please stay from that particular dilemma entry. I am going to start vetting these dilemmas that come through. If it sounds as though someone's making the crap up, I am not going to be passing it on to the team to read.
Good.
Ain't got no time to be wasting time like that.
At all.
No fantasy over here. No fantasy.
Nope.
Only the fantasy that lives in Gina just said.
So you did to yourself, Gina, just you have only yourself to blame. All right, people. Have a blessed day. The sun is out.
See you all tomorrow. I chose my time for the blood thing on the 31st.
Dope.
And it's so funny. I think I said yesterday that it'll be the day after the Ned stuff, innit?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I don't know if it is. I'm going to have the energy. They might kill me.
No.
That's not the right thing to say, is it?
No.
Not at this point.
At all. You'll be great, bro.
Yeah. I'm going to have enough plasma to extract.
100%.
Yeah.
Sign up, guys. ACFT. But we're going to talk about it a bit more tomorrow.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to seeing some of the community again, man.
Yes.
Shaking a leg and that.
True indeed.
I know that some of them are complaining that we need a dating. Well, until we have a dating,
this will do.
Come to the night thing.
That's it. You know what I'm saying?
The night thing is better anyway. Darkness than that. You're listening, sinners.
I'm a child of light.
You know you can get up to in the dark.
That is diabolical. Diabolical. I'm a child of the light. You know
I need to get into some more play. Because I can't be twitching forever, man. I can't be numb feet.
Never.
Loss of hearing.
Prayers go to Temiwale and Chris and
all the
Swiss.
All the time, man.
All right, people. Be black and beautiful, man. Till tomorrow. Peace.
Later. Inside.